I understand. You allowed matters to take their course, that was all. Yes, sir, answered Caderousse, and remorse preys on me night and day. I often ask pardon of God, I swear to you, because this action, the only one with which I have seriously to reproach myself in all my life, is no doubt the cause of my abject condition. I am expiating a moment of selfishness, and so I always say to La Carconte, when she complains, "Hold your tongue, woman, it is the will of God," and Caderousse bowed his head with every sign of real repentance. Well, sir, said the abbé, you have spoken unreservedly, and thus to accuse yourself is to deserve pardon. Unfortunately, Edmond is dead, and has not pardoned me. He did not know, said the abbé. But he knows it all now, interrupted Caderousse. They say the dead know everything. There was a brief silence. The abbé rose and paced up and down pensively, and then resumed his seat. You have 2 or 3 times mentioned a Monsieur Morrel, he said. Who was he? The owner of the Pharaon and the patron of Dante. And what part did he play in this sad drama? Inquired the abbé. The part of an honest man, full of courage and real regard. 20 times he interceded for Edmond. When the emperor returned, he wrote, implored, threatened, and so energetically that on the second restoration he was persecuted as a Bonapartist. 10 times, as I had told you, he came to see Dante's father, and offered to receive him in his own house. And the night or two before his death, as I have already said, he left his purse on the mantelpiece, with which they paid the old man's debts and buried him decently. And so Edmond's father died as he had lived, without doing harm to anyone. I have the purse still by me, a large one made of red silk. And, asked the abbé, is Monsieur Morrel still alive? Yes, replied Caderousse. In that case, replied the abbé, he should be a man blessed of God, rich, happy. Caderousse smiled bitterly. Yes, as happy as myself, said he. What? Monsieur Morrel unhappy? Exclaimed the abbé. He is reduced almost to the last extremity. Nay, he is almost at the point of dishonor. How? Yes, continued Caderousse. So it is. After 25 years of labor, after having acquired a most honorable name in the trade of Marseille, Monsieur Morrel is utterly ruined. He has lost 5 ships in 2 years, has suffered by the bankruptcy of 3 large houses, and his only hope now is in that very Pharaon which poor Dante commanded, and which is expected from the Indies with a cargo of cochineal and indigo. If this ship founders like the others, he is a ruined man. Okay, I don't know what to make of this. If I should take Dumas at face value, if I should take Dante at face value here, because I don't really buy it, but I'm not them. When he says that Caderousse bowed his head with every sign of real repentance, and Dante says, and thus to accuse yourself is to deserve pardon. Does he really accuse himself? I don't know. Maybe I've been going too hard on Caderousse this chapter in psychoanalyzing him. I don't really buy it. I do think he's deflecting. I do think he isn't taking full responsibility for his actions or lack thereof. But maybe that's the point. Maybe Dante is recognizing that through the capacity that Caderousse has, which is to say he doesn't have the capacity of self-actualization and reflection the way that most do, that this level of repentance is the highest degree of what he can offer and therefore deserves pardon. That's very charitable of Dante if that's the case. I'm not buying it, but I guess we don't really see what happens yet as we're starting to learn about some more people. And I like this as well. I mean, I don't like what's happening to Morrel, but I like that Dumas is setting up another little thread we can follow, a thread of suspense, that Morrel has undergone a lot of hardship and that he ended up being a great man, sticking up for Dante and never relenting in that, to the point of it ruining him. He put his own reputation on the line and was ruined by being associated as a Bonapartist agent. But now the suspense that I think is exciting is that Dumas is like, yeah, he's undergone so many hardships and bankruptcy, and he's like just right on the fulcrum, that little cusp of being ruined. He isn't ruined yet. He isn't the man he used to be, but he isn't destitute. Not yet, because the Pharaon, the very ship that Dante was to be captain of, is the last hope for Morrel. What a wonderful thematic bit of suspense that is. I wonder how Dante is going to end up engaging with that. I mean, he has the funds to turn Morrel's life around. Is he going to become the patron to Morrel the way that he was once the patron of Morrel? Is he going to buy the Pharaon out from underneath Morrel? Is he going to give him the funds to make it a thriving business again? Which actually, that brings up an interesting question I haven't asked yet, which is, what is Dante's long-term plan? After vengeance, what kind of life does he want to lead? He has all this money now. Does he still want to go be the captain of a ship and lead a crew to just sea adventures? or just ship trades and cargo and like go back to what he was doing and just pick up where things left off? Or is he going to embrace an entire new lifestyle with potential that he never once dreamed of before? Now, with the Pharaon back in play here, we can kind of explore that. I am curious what Dante's perspective on that is going to be when he gets around to it. It also sets up kind of a ticking clock because Morrel is so close to destitute. It sounds like, Danglars, Fernand, they aren't going anywhere. Maybe with this ticking clock, he's going to go and find Morrel, because then what we don't have here with this Caderousse situation is any insight into Villefort. I kind of feel like it might be necessary soon to be able to see the full chessboard. And so if Dante goes to Morrel next, he can get information about Villefort, and then we can see where all of the players are and go with Dante as he continues to strategize. Although Dumas has kept his strategy away from us at this point, because I had no idea that he was even going to see Caderousse, let alone in a disguise. So who knows? Maybe we'll get to that by the end of this chapter. We are right smack in the center of it. So join me here tomorrow as we do more of chapter 27. Until then, okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.